Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another video. I haven't really done an original, an idea video in a while. I've done some contests, I've done a few unboxings, I've had a couple of gifts sent my way. So I thought it was about time that I just showed a few things that I have in the collection that y'all might be interested in. So I'm just gonna, I thought it would be a good idea just to show some of my, actually, it's just about all of my box sets that I have in my collection. And these are all CD box sets. I'm not really going to go in any particular order. And the way that I defined box set, so like, for example, I have a lot of the 2-disc Bob Dylan Bootleg series sets. However, that they're not like the expanded editions. So this is really like expanded edition in terms of like my criteria for this. So with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right in, just say a couple of things and move on to the next one. This one I've showed, this is the Feel Flows box set. The Beach Boys just came out this year. It's 5 discs of outtake studio sessions from the Sunflower and Surf's Up sessions from 69 to 71. Really cool set, really great acapella music in this, so check out Feel Flows, the Beach Boys. Next up, here's one that I bought and didn't actually get around to finishing, and it was actually kind of the thing that jump started this idea. I just finished this morning. This is Everybody Still Digs Bill Evans. It's 5 discs of just some great retrospective of Bill Evans's work. It's from 56 to 1980, and the cover is really cool. It's felt, and there's a great book in the inside with just some great pictures of Bill Evans and just his whole career. So this is really cool if you like nice piano jazz. Next up, I'll just move along to what I have in my order here. This is Mike Nezmuth songs. It's 12 discs, essentially all of Mike Nezmuth's solo stuff with a couple of exceptions, and each album is in a it's in a sleeve that is reminiscent of the actual vinyl when it first came out. So you have everything from the first National Band, the second National Band, his solo stuff, and then his audio books that he did. Well, his music / books like The Garden and The Prison are both on here as well. So Mike Nezmuth songs. You can actually get this fairly cheap through his Video Ranch website. Next up is along a similar in terms of like the way it's set up. This is John Prine, Crooked Piece of Time. This is 7 albums by John Prine during his Atlantic and Asylum record years. Just, again, really cool artwork. There's a booklet in there. And then again, the albums are set up just like the vinyl records. So it's just condensed in size. So it's really small print on the back. But they're great albums. I mean, you have the debut, you have Aimless Love. Excuse me, you don't have Aimless Love, I'm sorry. You have Bruised Orange, Diamonds in the Rough, Sweet Revenge, Common Sense, Bruised Orange, Pink Cadillac, Storm Windows. Then, of course, the debut. So that's a cool set. Really helps you along with your John Prine collection. Next up, I'm sticking first to these sets that are kind of in the same shape. This is CSNY 1974. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young on their world tour together. I think this was curated by Graham Nash just a few years ago. This was a gift to me from my dad, and this is really cool. This was 7 years ago. So disc 1 is a set, like the first set, then you have like the intermission, second set, then there's a third set, and there's also a DVD with 8 tracks on it, video tracks. So this is really cool. Yep, so CSNY. 1974. Next, yeah, I'm going to do a transition here in just a minute. This is Van Morrison's The Healing Game. This came out in 2019 as an expanded edition of his 1997 album, The Healing Game. You have the original album, which has a few bonus tracks on it. You have Disc 2, which are the sessions and collaborations, including collaborations with John Lee Hooker, Carl Perkins, and I think there's one with Lonnie Donegan, and some alternate takes. And then Disc 3, you have Live at Montreux, July 19th, 97, and you have a killer version of I'm Not Feeling It Anymore, and then a mashup of Tupelo Honey and Why Must I Always Explain. So this is a really cool set. Just kind of came out of the blue when it came out, that they just decided to do this album as a expanded edition. If you know why it was an expanded edition for my Van Morrison people, let me know. All right, transitioning here, and this is going to transition into, I guess, the next few artists I'm going to show. This is the Traveling Wilburys full discography, as in both of their albums, as well as the DVD with their documentary and music videos. These have the Traveling Wilburys Volume 1 and Volume 3. Both of those CDs have 2 bonus tracks apiece. I fell in love with this album when I was about in 8th grade. Of course, the Traveling Wilburys are Roy Orbison, Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and George Harrison. And if you don't know the Traveling Wilburys, check them out. Get this set because it's killer. All right, with that being the transition, let me move now into, let me just move right into Bob Dylan here. I've got a bunch of Bob Dylan. Like I said, I've got several of his bootleg series on the 2-disc sets, but I'm going to show some of the expanded editions that I have as well. But first of all, this is the 1975 Rolling Thunder Review box set. Very extensive and expansive. Not expensive. It is expensive, but it's expansive. Depending on where you're from, that might be how you pronounce it. That's not how I pronounce it. But it's, let's see, it's 14 discs with a booklet. It essentially goes from the rehearsals and sound checks of the Rolling Thunder Review up until, all the salvageable shows that they could pull together for this. And of course, the Rolling Thunder Review, you have people like Joan Baez, Roger McGuinn, Joni Mitchell, just a who's who of people are on here. And yeah, it's really cool. It's not too extensive. I don't have the 1966 box set, which is an unbelievable amount of material. It's essentially every scrap of music from his 1966 World Tour, and it's too much. It's 30 CDs, something like that, of the same set list. No, not interested. Not yet, anyway. All right, now here are some of his bootleg series Super Deluxe editions. This might be my favorite so far. This is Trouble No More. This is the bootleg series volume 13. This is Dylan during his gospel phase, and 8 discs of just great live music. A few sessions, but it's a lot of live music. There's also a DVD on here, it's okay. But of course, all of these, I'm not going to pull them out, but they all have a booklet and then a huge section for the CDs themselves. Next, this was the first bootleg series that I got in this format. This is the complete basement tapes. This is volume 11. Of course, this was Bob Dylan and the band up at Big Pink in Woodstock. And all the music that they recorded. You have 6 discs just packed full of traditional music, country, bluegrass. You have songs by the band. You have Dylan stuff. You have just some dialogue, just things that they're, running through for inspiration. So Yeah, that's the complete basement tapes. That was a holy grail when it came out for a lot of people. Nobody ever thought it would be released. Because of course they released a record of it in the 70s, which was very condensed, and there were some overdubs on it, and it was a whole thing. This is the newest set, volume 16. This is Springtime in New York. This is Dylan's 80s material. Fittingly enough, it was just the other day, the anniversary of the Infidels album when that came out. So you've got people like Mark Knopfler, Mick Taylor on this set, and this is a really prolific period for Dylan. So check that out too if you like Infidels especially. Next and last in my Dylan expansive sets, this is the More Blood, More Tracks bootleg series. This is 6 discs of just, essentially it's just the songs from Blood on the Tracks and just how they evolved into the album that we know. And it's really good. I probably wouldn't have gotten this in this form had it been an album like, like The Cutting Edge. I don't have The Cutting Edge, which is essentially every scrap of material during the 65, 66 sessions, like the Bring It On Back Home, Highway 61, Blonde on Blonde. If they would, that one I wasn't interested in, but Blood on the Tracks is my favorite Dylan album, I would say, and I wanted to delve into it, and it's really cool. So those are my Dylan pieces. So from the Traveling Wilburys, we moved to Bob Dylan. Let's go to another Wilbury. That would be Mr. Tom Petty, and I would venture to say that this is my all-time favorite box set. This is the Wildflowers and All the Rest set, which came out last year. This, of course, was in correlation with the Wildflowers anniversary, the 25th anniversary. There were some delays because of COVID, but you have the original Wildflowers album. It's not remixed, which is a little disappointing. So if you have Wildflowers already, you're really just getting 4 discs of new material. The second disc is the All the Rest, which is 10 songs that he recorded and wrote during the Wildflower sessions, but the record company wouldn't let him make a double album. So you have All the Rest, which a lot of these songs ended up on the She's the One soundtrack. You have home recordings, disc 3. You have Wildflowers Live, so it's like it's Wildflowers tracks that he did live in concert, and that's throughout his career from '94 up until his last tour. And then you have Finding Wildflowers, disc 5, which are alternate versions. So I recommend this set. This is a killer set. It's definitely my favorite box set. Next, for Tom Petty, we have Tom Petty and American Treasure. This is a 4-disc set that was put out after he passed away in 2018. Ben Tench and Mike Campbell, as well as Petty's daughters and widow, took part in this set. And it's a career retrospective. It's alternate takes. So disc 1, you have the 70s, disc 2 is the 80s, disc 3 is the 90s, and disc 4 is the 2000s. So what this is it's not really a greatest hits compilation. They took songs that were deeper cuts on some of the albums that didn't get the respect that they deserve necessarily, even right up to the Hypnotic Eye and Mudcrutch 2 albums. But you also have live versions of some of his greatest hits. Some of the stuff was on the Anthology set, but a lot of this was unreleased. So that's a really cool set if you like Tom Petty. And speaking of Anthology, this is the live Anthology 4-disc set, released in 2009. And this was put together like a live show, so there was no chronological order to it. So like disc 1 starts with an introduction, and you have like some moments of like they mention like just some noises from a live concert are on these discs. So it's really cool, and it flows like a concert. And there's also a really informative book as well. So the live Anthology by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. All right, from that transition, we're going to go to another Wilbury, who will then take us to my final stretch of sets here. Of course, Mr. George Harrison. This is the 2021 All Things Must Pass box set, which received a lot of criticism, mostly because of its size, because as you can see, that's the size of like a normal CD, and this is the size of the All Things Must Pass set. Regardless, there's still good music in here. 5 discs plus a Blu-ray audio of the set, and I have another video for this as well, an unboxing. So All Things Must Pass. All right, so that takes us then, of course, where does George Harrison fall? Well, he falls with the Beatles. That's right. And this is the new Let It Be box set. This is the book. I'm still reading it, taking my time on it. So I didn't want to put it back in the box, but I've also done an unboxing on that. I'll put all the videos below that, I can break up some of these box sets that I've done in the past, but I just did one for Let It Be, and that's the sleeve for the Let It Be set. And next is my favorite Beatles album. This is the 2019 Abbey Road Box Set. Killer sounding mix by Giles Martin. I absolutely love this mix. It's my go-to Abbey Road copy, and yeah, I can't say enough. If you love the Beatles, at least get this on the 2-disc version, but the box set's pretty cool too. And lastly, unfortunately, I don't have the White Album box set. I do have it. I do have the new mix with the Escher demos, but I don't have the full set. But I do have the Sgt. Pepper 2017 box set. Got this earlier this year, and it's killer too. Sgt. Pepper. I don't think it sounded better than it does on this. Any of these new Beatles remixes, I highly recommend. But sorry if this was too long of a video. I just wanted to break down some items that I had. Thought you might enjoy it, and let me know which of these sets you like. If you haven't heard of any of them, I can let you know, in more detail how it sounds. So if you want to go ahead and buy it, you can do it. But I appreciate you all watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you all very soon. Happy listening.